So children, today we will complete lesson 7. Okay, 8th class. Okay, so in this first, what is a cell? Cell is structural and cell is structural and functional unit of life. Try to understand children. Cell is structural and functional unit of life. Means entire our structural and functional unit of organism. Entire organism is made up of cell. Entire organism is made up of cells, and all structure is also made up of cells, and all the functions what we do is also done by cells only. Cell is called as structural and functional unit of organism. Structural and functional unit of organism. Plants also have cell, animals also have cell. What are the difference between plant cell and animal cell? First one. What are the differences between plant cell and animal cell? If you see children, the major difference between plant cell and animal cell, plant cell has cell wall. Animal cell, the cell wall is not there. Directly cell membrane starts. Okay. Normally cell wall, plasma membrane, nucleus. Like this it is present. Cell wall is present for plant cell. Animal cells don't have cell wall. First difference. Number two, plant cell have plastids. Plastids like chloroplast, chromoplast, all those things, which helps in trapping the sunlight, preparing the food, photosynthesis. Animal cells don't have plastids. We don't have centrosome. Centrosome is absent in plant cell, whereas it is present in animal cell. Centrosome is present, which helps in cell division. Okay, and so children, plant cell have a fixed shape because of its cell wall. Plant cell have a fixed shape, whereas animal cells are irregular in shape because we don't have cell wall. Simple. Alright, plant cell has large vacuole. If you see inside the cytoplasm, children, this is cell wall, this is plasma membrane, and nucleus is small, vacuole is big. In plant cell, vacuole is big, and in animal cell, vacuole is small. These are the differences between plant cell and animal cell. Okay, children? And every cell, there are two types of cells, children. There are two types of cells, old cells and new cells. Old cells are called prokaryotic cells. Do you have idea, children? Prokaryotic cells. And new cells are called eukaryotic cells. Okay, what is a prokaryotic cell and what is a eukaryotic cell? Pro means old, karyon means nucleus, U means new, karyon means nucleus. There are two types of cells, children. Okay, in prokaryotic cell, see children, what did they say? First we have cell wall, then we have cell membrane, then we have nucleus. This nucleus is present, but nuclear wall is absent in prokaryotes. Nuclear wall is absent. Nuclear wall is absent. All the things which are present in the nucleus, they will be floating in the cytoplasm. Whereas eukaryotic cell have nuclear membrane. Try to understand, children. Eukaryotic cell has nuclear membrane. Means a certified nucleus is present. Perfect nucleus is present. And Eukaryotic cell have RNA as genetic material. We have DNA as genetic material. These are the major differences, children. Major difference is this is cell wall, this is plasma membrane. Nucleus is present in eukaryotic cells. Nucleus wall is absent in prokaryotic cells. All the contents in the nucleus will be floating in the cytoplasm like this. They will be floating. You will study about this in detail in ninth class, children. Okay, just till then we remember what is prokaryotic cell, what is eukaryotic cell. Best example for prokaryotic cell is bacteria and blue-green algae. Bacteria and blue-green algae. Whereas for eukaryotic cells, almost all living cells are eukaryotic cells only, except bacteria and blue-green algae. Our body cells also eukaryotic cells only, children. Okay, so try to understand, children. So study of cell is called cytology. Study of cell is called what, children? Cytology. Study of intent. The cell was first. Who discovered cell, children? Anyone can say? Who discovered cell?
Robert Hooke.
Fantastic, Nana. Robert Hooke. He was the first person who discovered the cell in 1665. He was the first scientist to discover the cell in 1665. Okay, children. So, in his own compound microscope, he used to have his own compound microscope, children. In that compound microscope is in your labs. You will see, no, children. That is called compound microscope. In his own cell, compound microscope, he first studied the cork cell. You know what is cork, children? Did you see anything cork, children? Cork is an old bark. Bark of a tree is called cork. Bark of a tree is called cork. In the cork, he saw cells, plant cell. He saw is the first children. He observed that the cork was made up of millions of small honeycombs-like thing. He saw. So for that, he in the cork he saw all the small compartments. He called it as cell. He called it as cell. To describe these compartments. But children, he did not understand the real structure or function. Children, he saw in the cork cell, he saw the first cell, but he did not understand its function or anything. Children, the idea is cell is a fundamental unit of life was actually put forward by Sheldon and Schwann in 1839. Children, who gave idea cell is a structural and functional unit of life? Schwann and Sheldon. Schwann and Sheldon. Schwann and Sheldon in 1839, after almost 110 years, Sheldon and Schwann told that cell is the structure and function of life. Till then, Robert Hooke discovered, he saw the cell, but he did not understand what is the function of cell. Okay, in 1839, Schwann and Sheldon told that they are the important things of life. So, their findings, whatever they said, that we will study as cell theory. Whatever they said, we will study as cell theory. What are the famous propositions of cell theory? Whatever Sheldon and Swan studied, their propositions are so told as cell theory. First one, what is a cell theory? Cell is the fundamental unit of structure and function in all. He said that cell is fundamental fundamental unit of structure. Cell is the fundamental unit of structure and function of all living organisms. Okay, children, of all living organisms. Two German scientists, Schwann and Sheldon, in 1839, proposed cell theory. What the cell theory states that all the living organisms' fundamental unit of structure and function is cell. Cell is the fundamental unit of structure and function. Cell is the fundamental unit of structure and function. Then all cells come from pre-existing cells, he said. All cells come from pre-existing cells. All cells come means cells only will divide and will give rise to new cells. They won't come from the ancient from old cells. They'll form new cells. All cells have same chemical composition. 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 Next one, children. The activity of an organism is determined the way the cell function. The activity of the organism is there, children. It is determined by cell function. Activity, please children try to understand and write. Activity of organism is determined. Activity of an organism is determined the way the cell functions. The way cell function, how better our cell is functioning, it will decide the activity of the cell, children. The way activity of an organism is determined by cell function. Activity of an organism is determined by cell function. Activity of an organism is determined by cell. The organization of the cells determines the structure. Organization of cells. Organization of cells determines structure of organism. Organization of cells determine the structure of organism. This is cell theory. If I ask cell theory, you have to write this five proposals. So who proposed cell theory? Schwann and Sheldon. In which year? 1839. What are their propositions? Cell is the fundamental unit of structure and function. All cells come pre-existing cells. All cells have same basic chemical composition. Activity of an organism is determined. Activity of an organism is determined by the way cell function. Organization of cells determine the structure of an organism. I'm sorry, children. Okay, organization of cells determine the structure of organism. Organization of cells determine the structure of organism. This is cell theory. Okay, children. Raghav, can you repeat these 5 points now?
Yes, sir. Cell is a fundamental
Unit of
fundamental unit of structure and function
of
of
all
all
living.
living organisms. All cells come from pre-
Pre-existing cells.
pre-existing cells. All cells have same chemical composition.
Organism
Activity of organism is determined by the way of cell
function.
function.
Hmm.
Organ
Organization of cells
Organization of cells
determine
determine structure of organ.
structure of organisms. Okay, structure. Organization will determine the structure. Organization of cells determines structure. Pravalika, can you repeat these 5 points?
Yes, sir. Cell is the fundamental unit of structure and function of a living organism. All cells come from pre-existing cells. All cells have same chemical composition. Activity of organism is determined by the way cell functions. Organization of cells determines structure of organism.
Structure of organization of cells determines structure. Organization of cells determines structure. Organization of cells determines structure of the organism. Surya, can you repeat these 5 points?
Cell is a fundamental structure and function of all living beings. All cells come from pre-existing cells. All cells have some chemical
Same.
have same chemical
Composition.
composition.
Hmm.
So,
Activity of organism.
activity of organisms is determined by the way the cell functions.
Okay. Organization of cells
Or,
determines
organism, sir.
organization, how cells arranged. Organization of cells determines
Organization of cells determines
structure of
structure.
organism.
Yes, sir.
Say organization of cells determines
Organization of cells determines the structure of the organism.
again.
Organization of cells determine the structure of the organism.
Okay, children, so very good. All cells are microscopic, children. All cells are microscopic. Microscopic means you can see only with the aid of microscope. With your naked eye, you can't see, children. Okay, so whenever you are seeing under the microscope, also we use the various stains, dyes to color the cell so that we can see clearly under the cell also, children. Since the microscope, what microscope will do, children? It magnifies the image. It magnifies the cell. Okay, cells show wide range of variation on number, shape, and size, children. Different types of cells are present, children, based on the number, size, and variation. Till now, okay, I will continue, children. See here, we have discussed difference between plant cell and animal cell. We have discussed prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. We have discussed cell theory, children. Till now, okay. I am sending the picture, children. And I will go to next topic. I will just 1 second, children. I will send the. If you didn't copy, please keep copying, children. If you didn't copy, I am sending the picture for you. Please keep copying, children, especially cell theory is very important, children. Who proposed? Schwann and Sheldon. Who proposed cell theory, children? Schwann and Sheldon. Schwann and Sheldon, two German scientists, they proposed cell theory, children. Next. Okay, so who cytology, Robert Hooke, everything you should remember, children. Who first discovered everything. Next, cell number, children. First, let us see. We will see number, shape, and size of the cells. First, we will see cell numbers, children. Okay, organisms may be, children, try to understand, they may be single celled organisms are there. Only one cell only is entire organism is there. Example, single cell organisms, amoeba is there. So many are there examples which you know I'm telling. Euglena is there. Paramecium is there. Okay. Did you heard any time about plasmodium, children? You heard anyone plasmodium? It is only causes malaria, plasmodium. So many are there. The entire body is made up of single cell children, single cell organisms. We will study under protozoa in higher classes, 9th class, protozoa. Single cell organisms are there, children. Okay, so they are the oldest forms of life, children. Single cell carry out all the single cell will carry out all the functions of the organisms. Ingestion, digestion, respiration, movement, exhalation, reproduction, everything, only one cell. They are all are unicellular animals, children. They are all are unicellular organisms. So a single cell is there, children. Okay. However, there are some types of bacteria and algae that are visible to our naked eye also. Little bit big bacteria are there, big algae are there. Organisms that are made up of more more number of cells are called multicellular. Single cell means unicellular. More cells are multicellular. We all animals and plants, everything what we are seeing are multicellular. Multicellular. Hope you understood. Sujit, Sujit, are you there? So you should know. Unicellular means single cell. Multicellular means many cells are there. Unicellular means single cells. Multicellular means many cells are there. Unicellular means single celled. Multicellular means now coming to the shape, let me tell about the shape, children. Different cells have different functions, varying shape, children. Okay, like some examples. Say what, sir? You may ask, children. I'll give you a nice example, children. Suppose if you see our RBC in our body, do you know, children? RBC is biconcave. They looks like this, children. Suppose WBC is there in our body. They look oval, children. Okay, okay. And suppose amoeba is there. Amoeba don't have any shape, children. Okay, euglena is there. Euglena it looks like this, children. Even though single organism, single cell, it looks like this. Suppose paramecium is there, children. Paramecium looks like this, children. It will have two nucleus. Specialty. So different cells, children, different like different cells have different shapes are there, children. Like so many different types of cells, so many different. Some cells are very long. Some cells are like round. Some cells are cuboidal. Different shapes are there. Different structures are there, children. Nerve cell. Did you heard about nerve cell, children? In lower classes we studied nerve cell. Did you saw, children? Anytime nerve cell looks like this. Our nerve
Yes.
cell in our body it looks like this, children. In our body we have nerves, no? Nerves looks like this, children, like this. One single cell is looks like this, children. Different cells will have different shape, children. Okay, muscle cells in the muscles, different shapes are there, children. I told you, no, RBC in our body are biconcave. They look like this, children. WBC like biconcave, like this. Different shapes are there. Now, different size also there, children. Different sizes also there, children. And not that all of them are very small, all of them are very big. But compulsory, most of them we have to see with microscope only, children. That is pakka. Okay, the size of cell is measured in micrometers or microns. The size of shell is measured in microns. Size of cell is measured in microns, children. And 1 micron you will represent like this, children. 1 micron you will represent like this, children. And it is approximately 10 to the power of minus 6 meters. Microns. 10 to the power of minus 6 meters, children. Try to understand, children. Okay, the largest cell found in the nature is anyone? Which is the largest?
Ostrich egg.
Very good. Largest cell on the earth is ostrich egg. It is the single cell, children. The largest cell which is found on the earth, children, is the ostrich egg, children. Okay, and children, see here, I was telling you that is micrometer, smallest cell. The smallest cell on the earth is the smallest
Microplasma.
mycoplasma. Mycoplasma. Mycoplasma, children. Okay, and largest is ostrich egg, which measured about 15 centimeters, children. It is. You can see with your eye. Okay, and ostrich egg is the single cell which is biggest. Mycoplasma is the smallest cells on the earth, children. In human body, what is the smallest cell, children? Smallest cell in human body. In our body, the smallest cell is in our body. The smallest cell is sperm. In males, it is present, children. We studied in reproduction. One sperm looks like this. Okay, one sperm looks like this. Yes or no, children? I told you different shapes are there. This is tail is there. This is there. Acrosome is there. Okay, I'm telling children it's not there. Just I'm telling the neck is there. Head is there. Nucleus is there. Mitochondria is there. So many. See, small cell in our body is sperm, children. In our body, I'm telling. Okay, and the largest cell in the children, largest cell in the body is ovum, children. Largest cell in the body is largest cell in the body is ovum. Ovum is present only in females. We studied it. Can anyone tell where does the sperm and ovum unite? Fertilization, where does it take place? Can anyone tell?
Oviduct.
Very good. For oviduct. Sperm and ovum will unite in oviduct. So in males, in human beings, the smallest cell is sperm and largest cell is ovum, children. Okay. So now cell or the neurons are the longest cells. Children. No cell is there. No, this is longest cell. This is longest and the longest of all cells in our body, children. Longest of all cells, longest I'm telling, longest is vagus nerve. Vagus nerve. We have 10th cranial nerve, children. This is 10th cranial nerve. It is the longest. It starts from the head, goes up to tip of the toe, tip of toe of leg, children. Longest nerve is vagus nerve in our body. Largest cell is ovum. Smallest cell is sperm in human body. Normally, all over the world, the largest cell is ostrich egg. Smallest cell is mycoplasma. And the shapes also I told, and number also I told. So you should be in a position to answer what are the different number, shape, and size on cells. Means you should write all these things. Anyone have any doubt on this, children? You should be in a position to write about this, children. If ever they ask anyone. Yes, children, anyone have any doubts? Hope you didn't have any doubts, children. Next one. Basing on this, now what we will study, levels of organization we will see, children. Just the levels of organization. All the cell is the structure and function of life. Cells combine to form
Tissue.
tissue. Tissues of a body combine to form
Organ.
Organ.
organ. All the organs in our body combine to form
Organ system.
Organ.
organ systems. Okay, organ systems. All the organ systems in our body combine to form
Human body.
organism. Any organism, no? Any
Organ.
organism. All the organisms of same species called as population. Same species means human population, dog population, cat population, donkey population. Population means same organisms should be there. All different types of organisms in a given place are called biodiversity. Biodiversity. Okay. All the biodiversities are living in bio. Biome is the earth, children. Earth is the bio. Like so, cell is the structure and function to apply. Cells combine to form tissues. Tissues combine to form organ. Organ combine to form organ system. Organ system combine to form organism. Like this, you should study, children. Okay. Single cell, cell to tissue, tissue to organ to organ system to organism. Okay, children, you should be in a position to answer this. Okay, now we will see structure of cell, children. Structure of the cell. How does the cell is made up of all those things, children? Normally, generally, if you see, a general cell will have a cell wall. First is cell wall. Try to understand. After cell wall, what is this called? Cell membrane. Inside the cell membrane, everything is called what? Protoplasm. Protoplasm is made up of what?
Cytoplasm and nucleus.
Cytoplasm and the nucleus. Nucleus is present like this. Nucleus. Inside the nucleus, what is present? Inside the nucleus, what is present? Chromosomes. Chromosomes. On the chromosomes, what is present? DNA. In the DNA, on the DNA, what is present on the DNA? Genes. Genes are the unit of inheritance. Genes will carry the characters from parents to offspring. Genes are units of inheritance. We look like our mother or father. Why? It is because of genes. Where are genes present? On the DNA. Where are DNA present? In the chromosomes. Where is chromosome present? In the nucleus. Where is nucleus? In the protoplasm. Where is protoplasm? Inside the cell membrane. Where is cell membrane? Inside the cell wall. What is cell wall and cell membrane? Cell like this. Okay, children. So one by one, we will study, children. First one is cell wall. Cell wall is present only in plants. Remember, children. Cell wall is present only in plants. Number one, cell wall is present only in plants. Remember, cell wall is present in plants, and cell wall is made up of cellulose. Cell wall is made up of cellulose. Okay, children. It is a complex carbohydrate. Cell wall is made. Next one is cell membrane. Where is cell membrane present, children? It is present both in
Plant and animals.
plants and animals. Cell membrane is made up of lipids and proteins. Cell membrane is made up of lipids and proteins. Lipids means fats, proteins means proteins. Okay, children? And who will help in preparation of cell membrane means endoplasmic reticulum that we will study in 9th class. Okay, the outermost. And remember, children, cell membrane, it is selectively permeable. What is selectively permeable, children? It will select anything which is coming out or going out. It will select and it will allow. They are like security guards to our body, children. They are like security guards. If they like only, they will send inside or outside. If not, they will not send inside or outside. The cell membrane is selectively permeable membrane. It determines the shape and size of the cell and separates it from the cells and the matter. Children, it is semi-permeable and selectively permeable. Whatever it like only, it will allow enter to inside or to go outside. If it does not like, it will not selectively, it will select and it will allow. Permeability means allow. It will select and it will allow. It will select, it will allow. We never saw any cell membrane cell. It's simple, children. Did you see anytime on the egg white after boiling, a membrane will come? Did you see, children, anytime? That is only cell membrane. Okay. Did you see, children, on the egg a white membrane will come? Yes, children. On the egg a white membrane will come after you boil the egg. Did you see anytime? That is only
Yes,
cell membrane. That is only cell membrane, children. Okay. So that is cell membrane. Cell membrane is selectively permeable and it is made up of lipids and proteins. It is made up of lipids and proteins. Inside the cell membrane, you have cytoplasm. Inside the cytoplasm, so many cell organelles are present. So many cell organelles are present. In detail about cell organelles, we'll study in 9th class. Just I will give the picture of all cell organelles. First one is mitochondria. Do you know what is mitochondria, children? It looks like this. Mitochondria looks like this. Mitochondria looks like this. Okay, and it is called powerhouse of a cell. What it is called, children? Mitochondria, powerhouse of cell. Why mitochondria is called powerhouse of cell? Because
responsible for cellular respiration and generation of energy.
very good. It liberates energy. It liberates energy in the form of ATP. It liberates energy in the form of ATP. In simple language, I will explain, children. You remember it forever in your life. Simple language, I will explain, children. Whatever food you eat, villi in our stomach will take it to mitochondria. Whatever oxygen you breathe, it will go to mitochondria. Food is oxidized in our mitochondria and it liberates carbon dioxide, water, and energy. Again, I'm saying whatever food you eat, digested food goes to mitochondria. Whatever oxygen you breathe, oxygen also goes to mitochondria. Oxygen is a good supporter of combustion. It burns our food, it oxidizes our food, it combusts our food, and liberates carbon dioxide, water, and energy. Energy we use for doing our daily activities. That's why energy is coming there. Mitochondria is called powerhouse of cell. And carbon dioxide, what will do? We'll breathe out. Carbon dioxide, what will do? We'll breathe out. So what is mitochondria is called? Powerhouse of a cell. Why? It liberates energy in the form of ATP. It liberates energy in the form of ATP. It liberates energy in the form of ATP. Next one, vacuoles. Did I say anywhere about vacuoles, children? Vacuoles are storage bags of cell. They are present very big in plant, whereas in animal they are very small. Vacuoles are small in animals. They store, children, all the things of the cell. They are storing. They are storage, children. They are fluid filled. They are present with the fluid, children. They may store food. They may store water. They may store anything, waste, anything they can store, children. Anything they can store. Plants cell have big vacuole, I told, and animals cell have small. Okay, did I discuss anywhere about the plastids, children? Do you remember? In differences, I told plastids. Do you remember plastids? The main plastids are only present in plant, children. The main plastid is what? Chloroplast.
Plus and chroma.
Chloroplast, leucoplast, chromoplast. What is the function of chloroplast in plant? Perform
Performs photosynthesis.
photosynthesis and prepares food. That's why chloroplasts are called kitchens of the cell, children. Chloroplast looks like this. Chloroplasts are looking like this, children. Okay, you should remember, children, chloroplast. Okay, so plastids are present only in plants, children. Chloroplast, chromoplast, leucoplast. Leucoplasts are colorless, chromoplasts give color, children. Okay, leucoplasts are colorless. And apart from this, Golgi apparatus is also present. Golgi apparatus. Golgi apparatus. That is also one type of cells, children. One type of cell organelle, children. The cell organelle responsible for processing of proteins and enzymes. It helps in processing of proteins and enzymes. Proteins and enzymes. It helps in processing of proteins and enzymes, children. In ninth class, you study, children. They help in storage, package, and disposal. They help in storage, package, and disposal of all these things, proteins and enzymes. Golgi apparatus. What are these cell means? Children, inside the cell wall, inside the plasma membrane, beside the nucleus, so many cell organelles are present, children. They are all these things, children. Golgi apparatus. And also, children, endoplasmic reticulum is present, children. Endoplasmic reticulum. You will study, children, in brief about all these things in ninth class. Just to remember endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum is of two types, children. One is smooth endoplasmic reticulum and one is rough endoplasmic reticulum. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum, rough endoplasmic reticulum. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum, so rough endoplasmic reticulum means rough endoplasmic reticulum have ribosomes attached to it. Ribosomes are attached to it. Ribosomes are also cell organelles. Ribosomes helps in preparation of proteins in our body. Proteins, mainly proteins. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum means endoplasmic reticulum don't have ribosomes. So they are smooth. That's all. They help in preparation of fats. Okay, children. And this fats and proteins only prepare cell membrane. I was telling you, children. So who prepares cell membrane? Endoplasmic reticulum. How? By preparing fats and proteins. The endoplasmic reticulum, by process called membrane biogenesis, they prepare cell membrane. Next, ribosomes. What are ribosomes? Ribosomes are also cell organelle which mainly help in preparation of proteins. Okay, like these ribosomes are present. Children, there are two types of ribosomes, 80S and 70S. 80S are present in eukaryotics and 70S are present in prokaryotics. Main function of ribosomes is to prepare proteins. Centrosome, I told they are absent in plants, they are present in animals. Do you remember, children? Centrosomes are star-like structures present only in animals, children. They are star-like structures which are present only in animals. They are star-like structures. They are star-like structures, children. They are present only in animals, children. And where they are present means each centriole consists of two centrioles that are oriented at right angles. They help in cell division. They help in cell division. Mainly they help in cell division. Centrosomes are present only in animals. Lysosomes. Do you know, children, what are lysosomes? Lysosomes will have powerful digesting enzymes. Any foreign bacteria, any foreign organisms are entering inside, they will kill them. Okay, lysosomes, they are found in almost every cell. They contain enzymes that break different types of biomolecules, children. When cell gets damaged, its own cell also it will absorb, children. That's why lysosomes are famously called suicidal bags of cell. Suicidal bags of cell. Try to understand, children. Lysosomes are powerful digestive enzymes. Powerful digestive enzyme. If any foreign bacteria or foreign organisms enter into the cell, it will kill. When cell is about to die, it will absorb its own cell. That is called. That's why lysosomes are famously called suicidal bags of the cell. Suicidal bags of the cell. Last but not least, the most important part of the cell is nucleus. I told you, no children. Nucleus. See, this is your cell wall. This is your cell membrane. Inside is nucleus. Inside the nucleus, who is present? Chromosome. Inside the chromosome, who is present? DNA. On the DNA, who is present? Genes. What are the functions of gene? Genes will transfer the characters from parents to offspring. Okay, children. The brain of the cell nucleus is. Okay, it will come. It will maintain everything, children. All the things, functions which happens to the cell is decided by nucleus only. Gene is called unit of inheritance. The gene which is present on the DNA is called unit of inheritance. Gene is called what? Unit of inheritance. Why? Because it takes the characters from parents to offspring. Gene is called unit of inheritance. Each gene carries information controlling a specific character of an organism. For example, color of person, eye, facial dimples, hair texture. Okay, all the characters we inherit from our parents is because of genes which are present in our parents only children. Okay, and types of the cells I told prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells are there. And coming to last part, cell division children. How do cell divide? There are two different types of divisions are there children. A briefly we study in higher classes. The major types of cell division we study are mitosis and meiosis. Mitosis and meiosis. Mitosis means one cell divides into two cells. Meiosis means one cell divides into four cells. Okay, children, there are two types of cell division, children. Suppose you are getting any injury here, your skin will cut. After some days, your new skin will come. How? It is because of mitosis. Whereas meiosis occurs only in sperms and ova. Meiosis occurs only in sperms and ova, reproductive cells, children. Meiosis occurs only in sperms and ova. Remaining all cell mitosis only will take place. Mitosis. Mitosis means one cell divides into two. 2 into 4, 4 into 8, 8 to 16, 16 to 32, 32 to 64, 64 to 128, like that continuously divided. Meiosis, one cell gives rise to four cells, but what happens, sir? Do you know, children, in our body, how many chromosomes are present, children? In our body, human beings have 46 chromosomes, children. Human beings have how many chromosomes, children? Anyone? 46 chromosomes are there. Okay, Surya, how many chromosomes are there? Man? Man has how many chromosomes? Man has how many chromosomes?
Sir,
46 chromosomes.
sir, 46.
In mitosis, this is also having 46. The new cells also will have 46, 46. Whereas in meiosis children, this is having 46, no? This will have 23, 23, 23, 23. Meiotic division, chromosome number will become half. Mitotic division, chromosome number remains same. Mitosis, one cell give rise to two cells, no? Two cells also will have 46 and 46. Whereas in meiosis, four cells will come, no children, four cells will come, no? Four cells will have 23, 23, 23, 23. So, one small example I will give children. Your sperm is there. Sperm will be having 23. Your ova is there. Ova will have 23. 23 and 23 undergoes what? Fertilization. And you will get a 46 zygote. 46 zygote develops into new organism again. Right. So, what are the cell organelles we studied, children? Mitochondria, vacuoles, plastids, Golgi apparatus, endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes, centrosomes, lysosomes. What are the cell organs we studied? Mitochondria, vacuoles, plastids, Golgi apparatus, endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes, centrosomes, lysosomes. Just one function, if you remember, it is enough. Mitochondria is called powerhouse of cell, gives energy. Vacuoles are storage bags, stores water, food, etc., etc. Plastids helps in photosynthesis. Golgi apparatus helps in preparation of proteins and enzymes, with storage, packing, and dispose. Endoplasmic reticulum helps in fats and protein synthesis. Ribosomes exclusively protein synthesis. Centrosomes helps in cell division. Lysosomes are suicidal bags of cell. When cell is about to die, it will absorb its own cell. It has powerful digestive enzymes. It is used to kill the other organisms and etc. which are entering inside. Like this, you have to study, children. Basing on this, they will be asking you different questions, children. We will do some questions basing on this lesson tomorrow class, children, next class, so that you will have a proper picture. Okay, again in next class I will give the summary of this lesson, children. Prepare well for that, children. Okay, children, thank you so much.